These lyrical battles are pure fire. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for another top 10 hip-hop feuds and beefs.
So grab your 8+1, start flipping and tripping. This is jetting, I'm licking off, son.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on even more hip-hop conflicts that kept pop culture poppin'. If you think we missed a feud, don't forget to check out our original list.
It's like that shit didn't faze me, you know what I'm saying? Like 15 motherfuckers, 10 motherfuckers jumped me, you know what I'm saying? But I love them.
Number 10, Nicki Minaj vs. Remy Ma. This feud began in 2007 when up-and-comer Minaj challenged one of hip-hop's most respected female MCs.
Tell that bitch with the crown to run it like Chris Brown. She won 3 rounds, I'ma need 100,000. Like Chinatown, bitches better bow down.
Both were up-and-comers at the time. Remy Ma's career would hit a speed bump as she went to jail for 6 years. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj changed her image and evolved into a pop culture superstar. By 2014, Remy was back in the studio, ready to claim her spot within hip-hop.
Keep saying, Rem, you need to drop a record. I'm like, in a minute, let me body bitches records.
When she busted pointed rhymes over Minaj's Truffle Butter beat, Nicki fired back with controversial verses on Swalla.
I gave these bitches 2 years, now your time's up. Bless her heart, she throwing shots, but every line sucks.
This feud used to be smoldering, but it went full throttle when Remy dropped the diss track Sheether in 2017.
How you mix Nicki with a Minaj? I'ma park this bitch, put Nicki in the garage.
Number 9, Ghostface Killah vs. Action Bronson.
You and Nick tried to get it, got blasted. Half-mastered ass style, met rough chest.
As a founding member of the Wu-Tang Clan, Ghostface Killah has a permanent legacy in the rap scene. Furthermore, he's one of the most respected lyricists of all time. But fellow New Yorker Action Bronson took him down a notch during a 2015 interview on ESPN's Sports Nation. The hosts seemed surprised by the shade, and Ghostface clearly didn't appreciate the disrespect either. He responded with a YouTube video, listing all the reasons why Action should perhaps just mind his own business and respect the Ghostface legacy.
I gave you a grace period, I'm supposed to destroyed you a long time ago.
Number 8, Lil B vs. A Boogie with the Hoodie and PNB Rock.
I wanna say I love you too. Thank you for loving Lil B. Thank you for supporting me.
Lil B is well known for cursing out NBA players and for his lighthearted demeanor. But at the 2017 Rolling Loud Festival, the West Coast MC paid a price for talking trash about East Coast rapper A Boogie with the Hoodie. Lil B announced that he'd been attacked by Boogie, PNB Rock, and others, but rather than making matters worse, he decided to promote peace. He also canceled his show because Boogie's crew apparently took all his gear.
But there's some folks that are representing the culture that need to, just kick back. It ain't all about being all violent.
Shortly after, the beef was officially squashed, as a mutual friend, Kilo Kurt, arranged a phone call to get all parties involved on the same page. Number 7, Gucci Mane vs. Young Jeezy. During more peaceful times, these two Atlanta rappers collaborated on the song Icy. It was Gucci Mane's first single, and the track that sparked the long, ongoing feud as Young Jeezy claimed he was never paid for his guest appearance. The drama escalated when he released the diss track Stay Strapped.
I'm so icy, and you're not icy at all. Your jewelry look like it came out the middle of the mall.
Gucci was then reportedly set up to be assaulted by Jeezy associates, and ended up killing one named Pookie Lock. The murder charge was ultimately dropped, but each trap artist continued to trade lyrical shots, both in music and during interviews.
They tried to murder me, a day I can't forget about it. And I don't wish no death on homie, just want him to hear me out.
Number 6, Azealia Banks vs. The World. Since making our original list for her beef with Jim Jones, Azealia Banks has taken on the world. As for hip-hop feuds only, she's labeled Cardi B as the poor man's Nicki Minaj, and brazenly took on Rihanna in 2017 after the pop star complained about Donald Trump on Twitter. Azealia told her to shut up and sit down, which prompted an Instagram response from Riri. It didn't stop there, as Azealia continued on with the heat. She also took aim at Iggy Azalea in 2014 with a controversial series of tweets that, unsurprisingly, incited a reaction from the Australian star. Number 5, Cannabis vs. LL Cool J.
Cannabis is the type to fight for mics, beating death and beating dead for life.
Here's a late 90s feud that began with a misunderstanding on a collaborative track. LL Cool J enlisted the Jamaican-born rapper for the song 4321, only he didn't appreciate a certain reference to his microphone tattoo. So, LL changed his own rhyme and fired back, which led Cannabis to respond with the single Second Round KO for his album, a reference to LL's classic Mama Said Knock You Out.
You don't want me to shine, you study my rhyme, then you laser vocals at the mind, that's a bitch move, something that a rapper would do.
But LL Cool J is a legend for a reason, and he essentially ended the feud with his lyrical comeback, The Ripper Strikes Back.
Don't ever open your mouth and mention my seed. Talk about my book you bought to read.
Number 4. Eminem vs. Insane Clown Posse. Years before Slim Shady began dissing celebrities, he was dissing hip-hop's most famous clowns. Way back in 1997, Eminem tried to hype up one of his shows by promoting a possible Insane Clown Posse appearance. But the group passed, and a Detroit hip-hop feud was born. This one was all about respect and status, and Eminem ultimately took advantage of his larger platform to continue the lyrical battle.
We got the Insane Clown Pussies here tonight.
ICP briefly perpetuated the feud, but it was the late rapper Proof who ultimately helped squash the beef for good.
We're not really looking at how well he's representing Detroit because we're representing Detroit ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So we got our eye on that prize.
Number 3. Meek Mill vs. Drake.
I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy.
In hip-hop, lyrical credibility is a big deal. After Meek Mill, who was recently sentenced to prison, released the track Rico in 2015, he called out his featured guest, Drake, on Twitter, claiming that he used ghostwriters. He also labeled Drizzy's verse as Baby Lotion Soft. In response, Drake released Back to Back and made Nicki Minaj part of the conversation, as she was dating Meek Mill at the time.
You love it and you gotta get a world tour. Is that a world tour or your girl's tour?
This is more of a traditional hip-hop feud, with each MC using their art form and social media platform as retaliation. Considering that even Burger King got involved, it's perhaps the most commercial hip-hop feud of the social media age. Number 2. 50 Cent vs. Ja Rule. Before Curtis 50 Cent Jackson hit the mainstream, the charts belonged to fellow New York MC Ja Rule. Their rivalry stemmed from many issues, most notably a 2000 attack in which 50 was stabbed by one of Ja Rule's associates.
You said you a gangster, but you never nothing. We said you a wankster, and you need to stop right.
And then 50 Cent released Wanksta, which was reportedly directed at Ja Rule, even though he has denied this claim. As the years went by, Rule's career slowed down and 50 evolved into a prominent pop culture figure. This made the feud, which continued with a few diss tracks like 2003's Back Down, less relevant. Lyrically, many have considered this beef to be entirely one-sided, and Ja Rule owned up to his loss during an interview with radio station Hot 97.
We didn't have a label as a home anymore. You understand? There was a lot of things that were falling apart for us.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
He wears a Kangol and that is cute, but he ain't got the money and he ain't got the loot.
Word up, your brother.
Why am I going out with this kid? I guess to myself, I'm telling a big kid.
Into the world of the Playboy pinup girl, butt naked, dressed in none but pearl.
I pops, is it alright? Show you right, you can't stop it, this is our world, me and my girl.
Never underestimate killers or overtrust them. Yeah, them M's is right in my face.
Still hear that voice in the back of my mind. So what I do, I still take heed, I still listen.
Number 1. NWA vs. Ice Cube. In the late 80s, a group from Compton, California, transformed hip-hop forever. But despite their external influence on pop culture, an internal beef made one of their own leave the group. When Ice Cube went solo, the existing NWA members attacked him on their EP 100 Miles and Runnin', which incited Cube to push back with his own diss track, No Vaseline. As depicted in the 2015 film Straight Outta Compton, this beef was especially personal, with various factors contributing to the original conflict.
Looking like straight bozos. I saw it coming, that's why I went solo.
While some hip-hop feuds have faded somewhat in memory, like Ice Cube's beef with Common, this one remains an integral piece of hip-hop history.
White man just rolling. With attitudes, who you fooling?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.